What's up, everybody? Blended and winning here, back at it again. Hey, my name is Joaquin Loper, and this is my beautiful, beautiful wife, as always, Stacy Loper.
Hey y'all.
And we are blended and winning.
And so are you.
Yes. As you can tell by now, if not, we're outside.
Yes.
It is a beautiful, beautiful day here in Memphis, Tennessee. And in our prayer time, God just told us to change it up some. So we want to come outside and talk about a subject that's very, very relevant to every marriage.
Every marriage.
Every
Absolutely.
marriage.
And even to you all as singles out there, this is very relevant to you as well. So we're outside. So you're going to hear traffic in the background. You may even hear the rumbling of that the AC unit behind us as well. So today we're coming to you about distractions. Distractions in your marriage.
Yes.
And distractions in your singleness. And what those things can cause you to do.
Yeah.
And choices that you make have some consequences behind them.
Yep. But even with those consequences, man, you can overcome them.
Yes.
But in the marriage, we're going to speak for our marriage, there has to be over communication, and there has to be understanding, and there has to be balance. Those three things in our marriage, in the beginning, weren't there. We didn't know how to implement them. And, we didn't know how to implement them from the positions we were supposed to be sitting in and walking in.
Right.
So that's what we come to you today about distractions. And they can come so easily. You can bring distractions into your marriage, unknowingly and knowingly.
Yeah.
And then you have distractions that's going to come up, natural distractions that come up in the marriage. Kids, not so much a distraction, but they're an additional plus.
But they can hinder you. Children can hinder you from being clear as who you are in your role in your marriage as your spouse or as the wife and the husband. Kids can definitely distract you from that and can hinder you from walking out your true role and calling as a husband or a wife. And so that's how kids play a major distraction. So today we're coming to you talking about a couple of major distractions in your marriage, and that's family and friends. I want you to tune your ear to this message today.
Please.
Because so many marriages are struggling because you got your family and your friends all in your business and you need to cut it out. Point blank. Because whatever goes on between you and your spouse is between you and your spouse, and you work it out. Because your family and your friends aren't going to be as forgiving as you are to your spouse.
Exactly.
Okay? They're going to hold that grudge. They're going to hold that saying or whatever he said or whatever he did or whatever she said or did. They're going to hold that against them far longer than you are. Okay? Because you all have a love that is something different maybe from what they've experienced. Some of them might not even be married. Your girlfriend of 20 years may not even be married. And she was like, girl, I wouldn't dare let a man talk to me like that. Or he wouldn't do this to me. And you're single, right? Now, I'm not saying that your husband has to disrespect you or your wife disrespects you. By no means am I saying that. But they can definitely be a distraction. They can cause you to think on another end that doesn't speak life into your marriage, that doesn't speak life into that relationship or into you as an individual. So you have to be very careful on who you allow in.
Yeah. So true. One thing about marriage, it's about any other part in life when you're trying to grow and go to another level. There are certain people, family, friends, all the same, that's their season. Their season is ended. Or just for that season, you've outgrown them.
Yeah.
You're going to another level, and the level that they're on, they really can't help you anymore. Not saying you don't love them anymore. You love them still the same. They just can't help you on the level that you're going to. So you have to be very strategic in who you allow into your marriage, especially your inner marriage workings. Telling the distractions that you do have, the issues that you do have, because everyone's not going to be for the betterment of your marriage. It's a saying that is so true. Misery loves company. Misery loves company.
Yes.
If they're not doing good and they don't want to change the way they are, why not keep somebody with them that can relate to them, that can make them feel comfortable where they are? Opposed, they see you happy, but they really don't believe it's happy because they're not happy.
Right. And so you even have those people who see you so happy, who just they just fail and they just won't believe that you're just as happy as you say you are, as you show them you are. Girl, please. He ain't that good to you, or man, nah, yeah, I mean, y'all do a little too much, man. Y'all all over each other like that. No, that's how we are. That's how we get down, you know. So when you stop, so when you allow those distractions in, whether it be your mom, and I'm here to tell you all, your parents can be a huge hindrance and distraction in your marriage.
Yes.
I mean, you can't overlook that, okay? You can't overlook that your sister, your brother may be a hindrance in your marriage. They may be a huge distraction in your marriage because they have not gotten past something that might have happened 10 years ago or something that was said 5 years ago. You have to be very careful, and you have to know the heart that people are coming from. And if you know their heart, then you know how far to take what that is they're saying to you.
Yes.
And so you have to understand the background there. What is that backdrop that they're speaking from? And where is it coming from in their heart? Are they truly coming from a place where they truly believe that people change, people grow, and you know what? He was just playing when he said that, or she was just playing when he said that. They don't know your spouse the way you know your spouse, okay? So you can't take everything that these outside people and these outside distractions say that your spouse is.
Yeah. And that comes with maturity, man. You're going to have to allow people just to be who they are. Listen to what they say. Their actions are going to speak louder than words. Mm-hmm. So if, for instance, if I say something to my wife that she doesn't like, I'm changing it. No more talking. I have to change it. And for the family, see, that was a distraction right there. See, I got rid of it. Distraction. But for family, man, it's harder because family, when they see you growing, they don't see you growing. It's sad that they still see you for who you were. That's why it's so important that this right here, bond, to be the strongest thing that you all have going. Because my wife is going to see me grow in ways that my family's not. My family might not see me for months because we're married now. And we're in the hustle and bustle of life, work, kids, trying to pursue happiness together. So when they see us, they can still picture me as Lil Jock. But I've grown. I don't even be called Jock anymore. My wife called me Joaquin. If he calls me Jock, I'm in trouble. Get that right back.
Yeah, that's right. I don't call him Jock. That's not what his mama named him.
Joaquin. But those are distractions. And I encourage family members, when people get married, try to see them for who they're trying to be, or who they're growing to be.
Yes.
Stop looking at them as who they were.
Yes.
Who they were, who is what they're trying to get rid of. And there are struggles that come along with marriage.
Yes.
There are struggles that you trying to get rid of the old you. But if I keep having people that I consider to be in my corner, in my family, throwing up the old me in my face, it's harder for me to get rid of that old me. Especially if I'm not strong enough to do it at that point in time.
Yes. And husbands, wives, pay close attention to what he just said. He's changing, or she's changing into this woman of God, the calling that is on her life as a wife, or his calling as a husband. And you constantly keep bringing up stuff that was in the past. How fair is that to them when they're trying to move forward, when they aren't that girl that she used to be, or when he ain't that dude that he used to be? Come on now. Come on. Sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves. We are also a distraction to our spouse because of the things that we say and we do. And we have to take a step back and say, "Ooh, that wasn't good. I shouldn't have said that. I need to check myself on that." Because baby, you're right. That's not you. That's who you used to be, but that's not you anymore. You know, so you have to be very careful about that. So not only to the family and the friends of those couples, or even to those who are walking in singleness, who's walking in the wholeness of Christ and what God has called them to be, man, you got to listen closely to how you are responding and reacting and dealing with the people who are going through a major change in their life. Because I'm telling you, like my husband said, it is a struggle. It's difficult when you're going through that change. And sometimes when you're going through that change, people are going to leave. You won't see people for a very long time. You may not have that conversation with that girlfriend of 15 years or of 5 years because, right now you're focused in on looking at the man in the mirror and changing that person. So you have to understand that along with that change comes some changes in your lifestyle and the people that you surround yourself with as well. And that does not mean that they love you any less or that you love them any less.
Right.
It just means that right now I'm focused in on something a little bit different than what we used to focus on when we were together.
And if those people can't understand that, they're not ready to go where you're going.
Yes.
And that's okay. That is okay. They're just not ready to go where you're going. Do you. You have to run your own pace. You can't worry about nobody else's pace or their race. My wife and I have our own pace. God has placed on us our pace, and the distractions on a lot of people, even myself, for an example. When I first got married, I was trying to make my marriage or to be with my uncles or other people that I looked up to be. But these people have been married 15, going on 20 years.
And I had to keep reminding him, I am not them.
Yep.
I'm not them.
But I want what they had so bad because I saw the peace and the unity and the wholeness, just the love that they had. I wanted that. So there's nothing wrong with you chasing something. It's in the manner in which you chase it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're chasing it together. That's why it's so good to get an understanding.
Yeah.
And with us, it was just it was easy, but it was hard. Listen to me, it was hard because in the distractions, I always tell my wife I never blamed her for her or judged her for her past because I have my own past. However, I never wanted her past to distract what we had in our present. And when people bring their past into the present of their marriage, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong because that person is not trying to see you for who you were in the past.
Right.
He's loving you for who he met in that time, in the present, and the future that's going forth.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're bringing your past into the present, who are you really saying you're with? Who are you really trusting? Who are you really holding? Who are you really standing beside?
Yes.
Or being the support. And all this, I love the fact that we came out here because as we hear the cars going by, it's making me focus more on what I'm saying. I hope it's making you focus more on what we're saying and what you're hearing. So this is a great message for me. It's even helping me out with some things that my wife had talked about earlier. So, man, distractions.
They're gonna come.
Oh man, they're gonna come.
You cannot deny that there are gonna be distractions. Okay, you all have careers. You probably have children. You have some things that you're trying to accomplish in your life. There are gonna be distractions. You have family, and you're coming from two sides of the track, possibly. Okay, there are gonna be distractions. You have to know how to focus in and bring clarity into that without bringing all of the other people and the outside things into that understanding.
Yeah.
And so that is our desire for you, is that you possess the clarity that you need to move forward in your marriage, to grow your marriage, to grow yourselves as individuals and as a couple.
Yeah.
So that you can truly walk in the calling that is upon your marriage, because we know that we have a purpose-filled marriage.
Yes.
And there is a calling upon our marriage, and we know that. But I'm telling you, it took us years to know exactly what that calling and that purpose was, because we had to truly get on track and focus in on what it was God had for us.
Yep. And get rid of the distractions.
Yes, get rid of the distractions, whether that was, I have to be, transparent here. I mean, I didn't see my mom or talk to my mom for an entire year and a half. She didn't see her grandkids because my mom was not a part of my growth initially. And so we had to really tweak some things. We had to change some things. And, I had to step up and leave my mom and cleave to my husband. And that's what I had to do. And that's what the Bible was telling me as a godly wife. I had to leave and I had to cleave. It didn't matter what she said. It didn't matter what she thought. It didn't matter how she felt about my husband. This is my husband. I have to wake up to him. I have to live with him, okay? Not her. And so I had to do that. I had to, say, you know what, Mom, right now, we have to love each other from a distance because we don't see eye to eye, and I can't allow your discomfort to hinder my marriage. And so I had to do what I had to do. I have a great relationship with my mom, but she had to see my growth. And she just had to see my growth and love me from a distance for a while until she was able to do that.
And with me, I very close to my family. I could not force my family ways onto our family.
Right.
Our traditions didn't have to be our traditions.
Right.
My wife had to get me to a point where we had our own tradition. It wasn't about my family, it's about my family.
Yes.
And when you get to that point that you understand that you're coming into your own, yes, it's good to have that extended family and you have the good things that you all do on a normal.
Yeah, the
but
family
what's-
gatherings and things
great
like
thing,
that.
great things. But what are you making of your own? What are you
Yeah.
showing your kids? What are you showing your spouse? Am I showing my spouse I want to treat her the way my uncle treats his wife, or am I going to listen to my wife's heart and listen to her words and treat her the way she needs to be treated and wants to be treated?
As his wife.
My wife.
As
yes.
his wife, and him as my husband. Because I can't be his aunt. I couldn't be his grandmother. I couldn't be his mom. I'm his wife. And he had to allow me to be that, and I had to allow him to be that for me, because he can't be my dad. He can't be my cousin. He can't be those guys who loved on me in the past and who loved on me as I was growing up. He's my husband, and God made him just for me in a way that only he could love me. And I had to own that, and so did he, and I had to be able to receive exactly what it was he was giving me. But I couldn't receive that as long as I was allowing all of the outside distractions to continue to hinder me and my clarity in my marriage.
And the Bible says, above all, get an understanding.
Yes.
You have to have understanding. And if that means you respectfully going to your family members, mother, father, uncles,
Sisters.
cousins, sisters,
Yeah,
siblings,
brothers.
it
Yep.
doesn't matter. Hey man, I don't appreciate what you said to my wife. I don't appreciate what was said to my husband from this point on. I would like if you just restrain from that. We have our own thing.
Yep.
It's the way you do it. And guess what? Silence is the answer also. When's the last time y'all seen Joaquin? Mm-hmm. When's the last time you seen Stacy? Mm-hmm.
Oh, been a minute.
Because sometimes you have to separate. You have to be the one to separate.
Yeah.
Because they're comfortable with who you are and who you allow them to be.
Yep.
So you have to be the person who brings the balance and brings the how can I say, the boundary
Yeah.
to people into your life
Mhm.
and into your marriage. And for us, we just decided to allow us to be the three-strand cord, myself, my wife, and God.
Yeah.
And we have a select few of people, some include family, some do not, that speak into our lives,
Yeah.
that we allow to chastise us when we're wrong.
Yeah.
And amongst all things, man, we had to die to ourselves in order to grow to who we are today.
Right.
And we're still dying to ourselves and growing. Because as we go forward, you cannot stay where you are. Marriage and spirituality is so similar. There is no neutrality in marriage and spirituality. You're either going backwards or you're going forward. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
So I can't look at my wife as the little spring chicken out she was when I met her. Grown woman now. Grown woman. Is that right, baby?
That's right.
But she's not the same person. But there are so many attributes that she brought with her that we had to hold on to. You know, her loving spirit, her stubborn spirit. Works at times. But my wife has grown so much, and I know I have.
Yes.
But it came with some bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
Your marriage does not have to go through the bumps and bruises that ours did to get to where we are. Be open to listening to advice.
Mhm.
Get in your word. Read your word and have an understanding for yourself. And understand where your role is. Mine is husband. Hers is wife.
Yeah.
We look to God for our answers. And sometimes God will send his answers through you, through your wife, who you have to listen to. Your wife has your best interest. She didn't marry you only for your looks, only for your money. Man, she married you because my wife told me one time she didn't marry me for who I was. She married me for what she saw I could be. That blessed me. It made me want to go farther. And I married my wife because I knew what was inside of her. I knew what was inside of her. And the times we've had our strongest and biggest struggles was because we were not bringing the best out of each other.
Right.
Period. There was, at this point in our marriage, there was no, it's your fault, it's my fault. No, it's our fault.
Yeah.
All right? Because we're not working together. We're blended and we're winning. We don't do this I can't do this without her. She can't do it without me.
Absolutely.
Period. So look, we just want to come to you today and encourage you,
Yes.
speak life into you. Don't stop. Don't stop, but you have to get some of the distractions out of your way.
Yeah.
As
you
we're
have
sitting
to.
here, we've had bees fly by us. My dog is walking around. Power lines everywhere. You hear the cars in the background.
You hear the
That's-
plane overhead.
Yes, that's cool. That's what life is about. That's what marriage is about. The distractions are going to come. What are you going to do about it?
But can you remain focused, and can you focus in on what the ultimate goal is and what the vision is for your family? And that has to be the number one goal.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you. You can't have the focus and the clarity that you need without God.
Yes.
That's our opinion. But we know without God, we wouldn't even be here.
No.
Period.
Mm.
There wouldn't be no blended, no win. It was losing around here. But we had to trust God.
Yeah.
And we had to trust God not only for our marriage, we had to trust God in our individual life first.
Yeah, exactly. First.
Yes. People always say, man, I don't want to get married. Marriage is ugly. Marriage is beautiful. I say this, I'm going to say this every video I get a chance. Go ahead. Marriage is beautiful. God made marriage. That was his first establishment. So marriage is good. It's the two people that come into a marriage which are going to make the marriage work or let it fail. And we've just refused to allow ours to fail. And I guarantee you, we've had way more good days than we've had our bad days.
Absolutely.
So look, once again, I apologize, I got a little ramble there. Man, we're blended and winning.
And so are you.
My name is Joaquin Loper, and this is my beautiful, beautiful wife, Stacy Loper.
We love you all. We hope that this has encouraged you. This has helped you. I have a tickle in the back of my throat right now.
Distractions. See that distraction? But guess what? You have to keep going. If she can't talk right now, I'll speak for her. And if I can't speak, she speaks for me. We're one. Our communication has gotten us to a point, though, I don't have to say anything. My wife knows how we roll. Period. And I know if she does something that I'm not too sure about, it's in the best interest of what we're doing. And that's just that. So, we're blended and winning. We encourage you all, keep the distractions out of your marriage. If you do not know how to do that, or you're not comfortable with doing that, seek counseling. Seek counseling on how to do that, how to approach the situation, how to approach the distraction. Because they're going to come. Yep. And sometimes people don't want to disappoint people. But who's going to be there when you're disappointed between your spouse? It's okay to disappoint people when it's for a better cause. I believe that. Especially if it's a point where they're not calling me. They haven't been to see me. I'm married now. I'm cleaving to her. Every chance I get. They're right.
That's right.
But anyway, once again, we're out. We're blended and winning. We love you. We love you. Please share this video. Please look at us on YouTube. Joaquin and Stacy Loper on YouTube. And once again, it's Blended and Winning on Facebook. Yes. We're out. We can enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Have family in town. And we just want to say we love you, man. We can't say that enough. Thank you all for viewing in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening wholeheartedly. And we pray and we hope that the words that are coming through our mouths, Father God, are blessing your life, blessing your marriage.
Absolutely.
All right? So love you. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Peace.